wanted to start off by talking a little bit about my definition of business resiliency. And I put basketball players up here because for me it's a bounce factor. Are you able as a business to bounce back from adversity? Now, for 6 years I coached high school girls basketball. And if any of you are familiar with teenage girls, you know that drama is bigger than on TNT, right? High school girls, no drama. And so one of the best pieces of advice that I received early on was by a veteran football coach by the name of Steve Freeze. And Steve pulled me aside right before I started my first year. He said, Dan, he said, I'd like to give you a little advice that has helped me over the years. He said, you're going to experience a minimum of 3 crises per year. Guaranteed. It's just going to happen. He said, how you respond to those crises will determine what kind of a year you have. And he was right. At a minimum, we always had at least 3 crises. Sometimes they happened in the first week, and sometimes they took a little bit longer. But I think that the same is true about business. Would you agree with that? That if you were to take a calendar year, say, each year, there's going to be some crisis, whether it's related to the economy, whether it's related to your employees, whether it's related to something that could happen. And how you respond to that is what I consider resiliency. And in order to be resilient, I think that there's a few things that you have to have in place. Number one is I think you have had to probably skin your knees a few times. You've had to have had some experiences. And you have to have learned something from those experiences to help you say, I'm not ever doing that again. I also think that you need to be, in some form or fashion, part of a peer group. Jim and I go way back. We were just chatting about being part of a CEO group, being part of a peer group, where you can exchange ideas. You can exchange ideas on things that have happened to others. I think one of the best things you can do is learn from other people's problems. I mean, all you have to do is open up the Wall Street Journal or the Seattle Times or the USA Today just about any day, and you're going to see somebody who suffered some sort of crisis and find out what they did. And then the third, I think, and this is the most important thing, is you have to be prepared to be resilient. Now, I was in the I guess I still am, in the sales business for 24, 25 years. And if you're in sales, and I think to some extent all of you are, you know that there's really only 4 objections. Everything falls under one of these 4. There's either no money, no need, no time, or no trust. And actually, no trust is probably the biggest. It's probably the biggest one of the group. But those are the 4 legitimate objectives or objections you're going to face. If you don't know what those are, I think you're negligent. If you're not prepared to answer those, I think there's negligence there. And I think if you're a business owner and you're not prepared to be resilient, you're being negligent to your business, to your employees, to your clients, and to your supply chain. So resilience takes some experience, not only from you, but from others, and it takes some planning and preparation.